to the podcast, episode 47. How you doing, people? We are back in the building.
You forget who you are?
No, I'm just trying to act like somebody not here.
Oh.
Like we don't see the person. Act 2 the podcast, episode 47. It's your boy International Walk back in the building. What's up, people? And we have back after a hiatus.
It's your girl Taj, the co-hostess with the mostest. I'm sorry, I had to travel down to Miami to get my BBL done, you know. It's like, no.
No fucking BBL done.
That's where I was. No, I was in the DR getting my BBL done.
No, she wasn't. She just
no,
wasn't here.
Absolutely not. But I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, she back.
Did you miss me?
I did.
Oh, but you did a great job by yourself.
I know.
Oh, excuse me.
I appreciate it, but
Yeah. You did a great job.
But I know. But we are back. Your boy International Walt and the co-host with the most is back again. The team is back in the building. We back in the house. Episode 47. You can catch us on A2TP.com, which is live and ready to go. You can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Spotify. You can catch us on Breaker. You can catch us on Google Podcasts. And you can catch us on Anchor. So you can catch us on all those platforms. Ain't no reason why you shouldn't be up on the up-and-coming hottest podcast out.
And just to let y'all, wait 1 second, just to let y'all know, I know sometimes people can't watch podcasts, but you might like to listen, like if you're in a car or if you like at the gym or something.
Go to A2TP.com. All the episodes are there, available in audio form or video form. So check them out. Or go to A2TP.com. Audio, video, swag, the whole shebang.
We should make a song like, we got what you need, we got what you... No? Okay.
I was wondering where you was going with that, but that sounded like somebody else's song.
No, I was purposely trying to not make it sound... I never heard a song like that.
I got what you need. There's probably 50 songs like that.
I said, we got what you need.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, we got that straight. You good?
Well, I've learned in therapy...
Move on from there, that's it? You good?
I've learned in therapy that good is not an emotion.
So why did you say it?
I'm correcting myself. I am feeling hopeful. I am feeling optimistic. I am feeling refreshed.
No. How are you?
That was so bad actor dramatic. I am feeling well. My mental, I'm probably an 8, which is a good,
Who said anything about your mental?
Overall.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
Yeah, overall my mental's like, an 8. Feeling good. Work is stressful and that contributes to my mental, but I'm not allowing it to take me under an 8. So work is probably
That's when you get hollered
at. An 8 too. Where again it's stressful in pieces, but I can handle it.
So good. Mental's an 8, work's an 8?
Yeah.
Finances?
Finance is like a 6. I need a lot of money. It's like, nah, I'm joking. Finances are a 9. I don't have any complaints about finances. All the big...
You never do.
I never do. You make sure I'm good. I make sure I'm good. We make sure we're good. I'm good. So I don't have any complaints about finances. I know anything that I need that I have. Some things that I want I have. I did not do any Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all that, whatever. Was it Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday? I didn't do no shopping. I didn't really want anything. I know Christmas is coming up. I'm about some things that I want to get you. There was nothing that was like, oh, I gotta have it. I just didn't want anything. Yeah.
I'm sure that'll change.
Yeah, of course it will. How are you?
I am...
No. How are you?
That's worse acting than I did. I'm good. Mental is sharpening, about an 8, 8.5. Work is boring right now, so that's like a 7. Still a little mediocre there. And finances is an 8. So that's where I'm at on all 3 accounts.
What a lot of people don't realize nobody ever wants work to be like stressful and overwhelming.
So what's a good number for work to be at?
No. But what I was gonna say is though, when you don't have anything to do, to like I guess like a lazy person, that might be like ooh, but no, that makes the day worse.
Yeah, and it gets to the point where, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but we work so efficiently that the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks of a job, it's like that, and that's what dulls you out. Because 1 day is fine, 2 days is fine, 3 days you done talked about everything, 4 days definitely everything is talked about. It's the same shit every day, just staring at each other's face. Like,
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't have no days to not have nothing to do,
Yeah.
and some days are too overwhelming. So I enjoy a well balanced day, but people don't understand that.
I like a balanced day, and I know I'm gonna get some days where I got 10 things to do, but so I take the days that they're gonna pay me for not doing nothing. But Jesus Christ,
yeah,
it's like a attack on your brain.
So what's your wows and woes for this week? Do you want to start with your wows or your woes?
My woes, start with my woes just to get that over with. My woes is I was missing Nana this week. Hadn't thought about her every day the week before, but this week was. I don't know why, but thought about her every day this week, and I miss her. I didn't see her a lot when she was here, but knowing that she's not there, I miss her.
Yeah. Over the last few years, you know, it's one of those things that I think we said this before. Nana suffered from dementia, in the latter part of her life, and I heard somebody say years ago, having a loved one suffer from dementia or Alzheimer's, it's like losing them before you had a chance to say goodbye, because they don't really remember you. You can't really have lucid conversations about real memories.
They're in, they're out, they're in, they're out.
But it doesn't replace their physical being of just being able to spend time with them.
I see a guy, it was actually a white guy, and his mom was 92, and he was taking care of him, and he was filming her, and he just kept telling her, I'm your son, and I moved in 4 years ago to take care of you. And she was like, do I have any other children? And he said, yeah, I got 2 older brothers and a sister. And then she said, was I ever married? He said, yeah, you was married to Dad for 49 years. You had a good marriage. She goes, where is he? And he said, he died 25 years ago. He had a heart attack in the chair behind you. And she was like, was I ever married? And he was like, yeah, you was married for 49 years. You had a good marriage with Dad. She was like, did he die? And he said, yeah, he had a heart attack in the chair behind you. Was I ever married? And it was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, he just kept going and going and going. Like, he didn't get mad or anything. He just kept answering her and kept naming his siblings. But he was like, this is just what it is.
Can I let y'all in on a little insight about me? When I was younger, my dream job, I wanted to be a trauma surgeon, then I wanted to be a neurosurgeon. And that was because my grandfather suffered from seizures, and one day we were actually in the gallery. I was like 11, and he was going to buy me some felines. When we had the high top felines with the strap around the ankle. I'll never forget, we was coming down the escalator, and he like leaned back, and I just knew something wasn't right. We got to the bottom. He fell out. He was having a seizure. It was me and my sister and I was 11, so she had to be like 7. And it's like we standing there in the gallery, had to call, I guess, my mom or somebody to come and get us because they was taking him to the hospital. We're kids. Long story short, that made me want to be a neurosurgeon because I just wanted to understand the brain. Dementia even further like sparks that. Like, I don't really believe in reincarnation. It wouldn't be at the top of my list if I came back, but it would be somewhere up there if I came back wanting to pursue that dream, because the brain, and just that's just like such a strange phenomenon to me. Like, I've experienced conversations with Nana where we've sat and had whole conversations, like real lucid conversations about things that I absolutely know weren't true, but I engaged. I'm not going to sit there and rebut everything she's saying. But it's just a phenomenon how people who suffer from dementia and Alzheimer's, I don't know if that's interchangeable.
It's the front part
of the same.
Not the front part. That's somewhere maybe behind the front part, not the back part. Maybe in the middle where your memory is stored. I forget what that part is called, but that's what's affected. Like firing of the neurons and electrons and whatever that is that fires off the signals don't fire no more.
But I would love to know what triggers them to create false memories. And it's only for a second, because they may tell you a story that isn't true, and in 60 seconds they're not going to remember that anyway.
Maybe it's a memory close to the memory that they lost,
and it's just
something to fill the void. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've never really thought that deep into it, but just maybe it is. So that was my whoa. Okay. My wow was you back. Tasha's back. So I'm happy to have you back.
But you always have me, but you're just happy to have you back on the show. Like, I didn't leave you. Like, I've been here.
Yeah, but still, you know.
Aw, it feels good to be missed.
Yeah, so that was it. What was your wows and woes?
I
want to take a sip too.
A little parched. Yeah. My 5-year-old niece told me that she was parched. She's 5 in kindergarten. She told me she was parched.
Rub that on your, like, soak that on your lip.
I'm gonna start with my wow. My wow was that I took some me time over the last week, and it's amazing what just a day, I'll say a combined 18 hours, because you figure you sleep during some time. Maybe even a combined, 18 hours, 2 days. Because I participated in an adult tap class, which was awesome. And then I took a day off from work, which is not something that I typically do. I just wasn't feeling my best. And this is really my wow, though. This isn't a sad thing. But it just felt good to just power down. He said something to me when I took a nap one day. He was like, you just had to power down. It was like, that was the perfect explanation to how I felt. Like, being in a room, no sound. I'm not a big TV watcher anyway. No sound, no phone, no, internet, nothing. Not having to be anywhere, not having to do anything, not being on a time other than, like, we were going out later, but at that moment I didn't have to do anything, and just literally being able to power down at my own discretion just for a moment, and it just being okay. That moment, it just felt so good. So I had a couple moments of that, then the tap class, then having a day to just kind of be here. Again, not being on an alarm clock, but wanting to, be fresh and clean and sexy for when my husband came home. But it just felt good. So that was my wow, just taking some me time. And I plan to do that more often. It's really, when people think of self-care, they think of like, manicures and massages and face mask. And it's not just that. Self-care is really taking care of yourself. First, identifying what you need and really doing the best to be your best self. And when I say I plan to do that more often, like, I'm not the type of person to just be randomly taking off work, and I don't plan on just being away a whole lot, but just finding those moments for me. So
to add to that, that goes back to our beginning podcast, which I think was number 11 or 12, bandwidth. Mm-hmm. I always tell you need to have some break in your day away from your work, like, that gets you consumed, screen, talking to people all the time, tasks. Like, you got to break that shit up. Like, you're in a room all day. You got to break that up and find some time for yourself when you're home by yourself. Like, you got to think about bandwidth. You shouldn't allow yourself to get to that point where you're so fucking stressed out, where it's like, I got to power down. Like, take those moments throughout the week, throughout the day, where you can do that, and you don't feel like, okay, I'm going 100 miles an hour, now I'm going 150 miles an hour because I let stuff get me.
And it's not just work. Like, and sometimes it's not that stuff is stressful. It's just that stuff is stuff. You're doing stuff.
Whether it be being a wife, whether it be being an employee, all that stuff is who you are. So all that stuff has to be managed. But it's all about bandwidth. It's all about letting in what you can accept that day, what you can stand for that day, and whatever you can't has to stay out till you have to whiff for it.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta power down. My woe, and it's slightly related. I had posted this thing. I saw somebody else do it, and I admitted that I was copying because I thought it was a great idea with 7 random thoughts. And one of the things I thought about, since I was since I was 14, I have always worked. There was only 4 months of my life, which you were a part of, from January 2002 to April 2002 when I got fired from Metro One, that I didn't have a job. But I have always worked. And don't get me wrong, when I was 14, I wasn't working a full-time job. I was in school, but I had a job that I was required to show up to, like I had a responsibility. I got paid good money too at that age. But yeah, I always worked, and it was something that would made with the woe in it. It made me think about people who, you meet these, like you'll hear old people say, "Oh, I worked since I was 13, and now they 65." And these are people who usually had a job, had families, things go on in life, probably traveled really little, or did anything outside of like their normal regimen. And we wonder why mental health is such a big issue in society, because those people never acknowledged their bandwidth, and they just kept going and going and going and going and going. And it made me think like, whoa, like that's a really scary thought, to think of people that have done that consistently throughout their lives. And I'm happy that we talk about it, but we're in this generation, which we know there's so many negative things that come from social media, but I think this is one positive thing that is encouraged, like to recognize mental health and self-care and those type of things, so that we can take a break. I think she watches the show, but she's like a little sister to me, even though she's only 2 years younger than me. She was telling me she got fired from her job, and she booked a trip to St. Martin's for 6 days all by herself, just to kind of reset, because she always worked. She always had a job. She had a great job. I don't even know what happened, why she got fired, but she needed that time to reset. And it just made me think, like, I'm happy that we're in a generation that is thinking differently. But that was a woe to me. Like, wow, it just made me think, like, back to, again, those people who say, yeah, I had a job since I was 13, and now here they go 75 and they finally retired. Like, you worked all that time, and a lot of people rarely did other things in their life. They had families and kids and grandkids.
Well, it's because they had to. They had to keep going. Like, I understand what you're saying, and it can be a grind. It's not even can be. It is a grind. I acknowledge that, but everybody has to work, and everybody
Definitely.
Sometimes, not everybody, a good group of people start early, but a lot of us didn't. And if you got to keep going. But again, it's about bandwidth. It's about, like, that generation you talking about. They didn't go nowhere. They didn't do anything.
Right.
And booking a trip and going somewhere for 6 days after you got fired is probably something they could have did, but they wasn't thinking on that kind of level. And who has a job the next day after you get fired? So you got 5-6 days to do that. I mean, it's not like a big deal that you booked the trip and went because you got fired. It's like, okay, I need a week off. You could have been home and had that week off and had the same kind of decompression, but then you went to an island, and it's like, okay, that's a little bit better, and we're thinking a little bit out the box.
And by yourself. I mean, again, that was a kind of a caveat to that, because I just thought, like, some people may sulk in sadness because of the situation, or their minds may automatically say, oh my God, and then they're on the website trying to find another job. But recognizing that you need that moment to power off and reset and start again, it made me think, like, wow, that's a good thing. And thinking about the people from that generation, yeah, I know, they didn't, they had to work, but I'm just saying too, is a lot of people from our parents' generation, their parents' generation, who rarely traveled and did things outside of their normal everyday cycle, and life just compounded and compounded and compounded, which I think probably passed down so many different issues generationally. So I'm happy that we're in a new mindset of breaking out of that mold.
And creating some bandwidth, some space for that, space for that. That's super dope. But it's set up for everybody to get a job when you're out of school, and you're supposed to work 40 years before you can retire.
Yeah.
But unless you do something within them 40 years that creates a different stream of income, entrepreneurial, whether you do something else, but society and the way it's set up, you get a job, you work, or you get jobs throughout the course of your 40 years, but that's what you need to put in for retirement. So that's everybody. That sucks though. You gotta work damn near 50 years.
I know, right?
Like,
you better enjoy the time in between.
Yeah. Topic of discussion for this podcast. Let's get people some education, some information. While we on this healing journey, we come across and flip over different rocks, and we're learning different things. So we're going to talk about attachment styles, and what is your attachment style and what they are. Just let the people know what they are, and that's it. So attachment style. What's your attachment style? Well, we took a test. So we had attachment style test, and we took a test, and it's a few questions. We're probably gonna put the link up on some platform for y'all to find. But we took a test and asked you a few questions about your childhood and your adulthood, and whether you're single and whether you're married and all that kind of stuff. And it'll give you a sort of an attachment style, and it's supposed to be 4 of them. And the 4 attachment styles is being anxious and preoccupied, being avoidant and dismissive, being disorganized, fearful and avoidant, and being secure. So if you take this little test, it'll give you like a little bit of feedback on what they think your attachment style is. So if you haven't heard of attachment styles, that's particularly what it is. What did you learn in doing the attachment styles? And also, I would like for you to read what the attachment styles are, if you wouldn't mind.
I'll try, but I don't have my glasses on, but I'll do my best. So I guess I was pretty surprised when I did it because, well, okay, no, that might be a little bit of a lie. I wasn't quite surprised because my results was dismissive / avoidant, I think is how it reads. I wasn't all the way surprised because I know that I can be dismissive or avoid certain situations, or my personality can sort of be avoidant in different scenarios. But I never looked at that as like an attachment style. But when reading the description, it was like, okay, this does kind of sound like me and fit me. So, okay, I get it. And dismissive, avoidant.
So this would be the avoidant attachment style for the 1 out of 4.
Which that
Sorry,
said,
my wife don't have her glasses.
Okay, so avoidant, high on avoidance, low on anxiety, uncomfortable with closeness, and primarily values independence and freedom, not worried about partners' availability. I'm uncomfortable being close to others. I find it difficult to trust and depend on others and prefer that others do not depend on me. It's very important that I feel independent and self-sufficient. My partner wants me to be more intimate than I am comfortable being. So I guess that's where my kind of, I'm a very intimate, close person. I found this to be true with me about others outside of my relationship, outside of those really close and personal to me. Like, I'm not one of those people, and this was part of in my professional life and being a leader, and for anybody out there who may be a supervisor or something, you probably can relate to this, where you'll have somebody who wants to come to you and pour their hearts out about personal stuff. That makes me so uncomfortable. And I get, maybe that's it has something to do with their attachment style, where they feel like, I've found in many situations, people are looking for friends in situations that I'm not looking to be a friend. I think that's the best way to put it. So I do, as loving and affectionate as I am with those people that I love and that are close to me, I'm very dismissive and avoidant and with people that aren't that close to me. One of the things I kind of been realizing about myself, I enjoy the company of strangers or people that I'm really that I don't know that well, more than
people you do know. Yeah,
and not friends, but like just loose acquaintances. Because I feel like with strangers, it's kind of like it's no expectations. Yeah, like I can do this thing and I can be gone, and I don't know you, you don't know me. It's no expectations. You don't feel like we got to talk about stuff And I feel more comfortable in those settings as I get older.
And there's some things like where it says I find it difficult to trust and depend on others.
You know what?
And you prefer that others don't depend on you. I don't see you like a person that doesn't like for people to depend on you. Not that I see you as a person that does like it, but you're not one of them people that wears it. Yo, don't depend on me. I'm not doing shit. Like, that's not your personality.
It's not.
This literature isn't concrete, so it's just something to talk amongst your spouse with. If the couples did it out there. I mean, if you're single, you can do it too, but it's just something to talk amongst your spouse with to create some conversation about your attachment style.
You know what? It's not that I don't like for others to depend on. So the first part, I definitely don't like to depend on anybody else except for him. And the reason is because I don't like to be let down. Like, and it probably sounds kind of selfish, kind of spoiled. Like, if I'm asking somebody for something or to do something or I need something, So the expectation of you saying yes, or the possibility of you saying no, or you letting me down, and that probably ties into like my controlling issues.
Yeah, and it is a bit selfish. Let me drop a jewel in that though. If you ask somebody a question, it's a 50-50 chance. If it's not a 50-50 chance, is it a demand or a question? So that's how you got to look at it. I know you want them inside to say yeah, but when you asking somebody a question, they have the option to say yes or no. And you have to be okay with that. But if you're not, then are you demanding that they do that when you ask? Because that's what it kind of means to you.
I'm not demanding, but I'm requesting it with the hope that you would say yes, because I need you to, or else I wouldn't ask you.
If a person really can't do it, although you're in desperate need and need it, if I don't have it or I can't do it, then I can't.
Well, so that's why I don't like to depend on anybody. Like that. That's why. Because I don't want to be let down. And I think my fear, and it's funny because I think about like, and I know I mentioned this before, like planning activities and stuff like that. Like that was always my thing. Birthday parties, family gatherings, that was my thing because I wanted it to be the way I wanted it to be. I didn't want people to not hold up their end of the bargain. Like that was my thing. But I realized when I don't do those, like when there's been scenarios, my bridal shower, I had nothing to do with it. And my sister, it for me, is so much more enjoyable when I can just do a thing or be a place or participate in something and just be there and not be in control. It does feel good, but I think the fear of being let down has, made me, sometimes like I would rather not do something than to try and do it and ask somebody and have to rely on other people and it doesn't come out the way I want. But like you mentioned in terms of others depending on me, it's not that I have a problem with that, but there are some people that are constantly, like in therapy. Well, no, in therapy, like our therapist said I was like a rescuer, but that's for like you. And again, those that's close to me. But you have some people out there that wear it on their chest. They want to help everybody because I think they feel like, oh, if I do this, then you'll love me more. I don't feel like that about people.
When you say like the rescue part is for me and the people around me, and you learned in therapy also, nobody's asking you to rescue them.
I know.
Nobody's asking you to rescue them. So you don't have to feel like, oh, this is set aside because I might have to rescue Jamar. I mean, not physically rescue me like from a kidnapping or something.
Right.
Everybody's grown. Like,
but
everybody
in that case, you're not
out.
depending on me. It's my own self wanting to be positioned to rescue you if you need me. But like, I don't really have any people that like depend on me because I want to do what I want to do for who I want to do it for because I love you and I want to, not because you're dependent and reliant on me to do it.
So you had what was yours? The avoidant?
Dismissive avoidant.
Dismissive avoidant. So the next one I'll read is anxious. So that was the avoidant. The anxious is low on avoidance, high on anxiety, crave closeness and intimacy, very insecure about the relationship. I want to be extremely emotional, close, merge with others, but others are reluctant to get close as I would like. I often worry that my partner doesn't love or value me and will abandon me. My inordinate need for closeness scares people away. So that's the. Do you know anybody like that? I
Not.
don't like with that anxious because I think I know somebody like that.
I was gonna say, not personally, but
you know what I'm talking about.
But I've, okay, I've been around people who I think if they did the test, their behaviors around me, I would think that would be their result.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, and one of the most important things about doing this is answering the questions truthfully so you can get the correct response.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I know some people who, if they did it, that would be their result.
Anxious and avoidant. You read that one.
So anxious and avoidant, high on avoidance, high on anxiety, uncomfortable with intimacy and worried about partners' commitment and love. I am uncomfortable getting close to others and find it difficult to trust and depend on them. I worry I will be hurt if I get close to my partner. There's an outline below that explains the 4 adult attachment styles: behavioral, cognitive, social aspects of each style, and the way in which they differ. So it's common for adults to have a combination of traits rather than fit into just one style. So it gives a little outline about the different styles, autonomous and secure, and it goes into some more information. But yeah, the anxious and avoidant is high on avoidance, high on anxiety. So you want people to love you, but you're afraid that they won't, so you kind of shy away, and it's like driving yourself crazy. I definitely know somebody that would fit into that box.
Mm-hmm. The last one is a secure attachment style, and that is, give me 1 second, people. Where's the secure at, babe?
That is right there.
So the secure is, Jesus, this is a long one. Comfortable in a warm and loving, emotional, close relationship. Depends on partner and allows partner to depend on them. Is available for partner in times of need. Accept partner's needs for separateness without feeling Jesus Christ. Depends on partner, allowing acceptance without feeling rejected or threatened. Can be also close and independent. Trusting, empathetic, tolerant of differences, and forgiving. Communicates emotions and needs honestly and open. Attuned to partner's needs and responses appropriately. Does not avoid conflict. Manages emotions well. Not overly upset about relationship issues. Insight, resolution, and forgiveness about past relationship issues and hurts. Sensitive, warm, and caring parent, attuned to child's cues and needs. Children are securely attached. There's a lot of that I don't agree about myself with.
Yeah, I would. I mean, some of it I definitely think, but it does say people can have a combination. But I definitely think
I don't agree with a lot. I had the secure attachment style, which meant like, I guess it was the better one, but a lot of it I don't agree with. Like, I'm not that secure with being alone.
the
Like,
separateness.
I'm not that keen on that. I mean, I can be, but I don't like it. I mean, that's something that's strong in my attribute box. I don't manage my emotions well as I should. I used to not manage them at all, but now that I have some tools to manage them, I do better. But I wish I was better at that. And this style says that I'm good at it. I'm not. Insight and and resolution and forgiveness about past relationship issues and hurts. I'm not that good at that. Yeah, I'm not that good at that. So that's another thing that I would say is flawed about my attachment style. Your thoughts?
No, I agree with the things that you said. And hearing it, it's like, okay, yeah, no, yeah. So, I mean, but it does say, I don't think anybody fits into one box.
Right.
You know, I just don't think. I think we are all a combination of multiple facets. And also, it depends on the type of relationship, because these attachment styles come from childhood, just like every damn thing else that we go through in life that impacts our mental, our emotional, our spiritual state.
Where could we put the link at?
We can add it to we'll add it in the story on Instagram, and then we'll also add it to Facebook.
And it's a little quiz, ask you some questions about your childhood, like, did you get the basics and shit like that. And she's right, you got to answer honestly to get the best result. And again, it's just literature. You can, read, talk about it. It doesn't mean this is who you are or this is who you aren't.
But it's some great insight into yourself. Even if you don't do it with a partner, it's some great insight into yourself, and take from it what you will. Of course, again, not everybody is going to check every box about themselves. You may read this and be like, I fit 4 out of 7 things. Okay. You may fit 2 out of 7 of another. So you may have a combination of things. So
that's crazy to have a combination of attachment styles.
Yeah. Because I think it may also it may also apply to, because I think I have a secure attachment with you, but dismissive with others.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I have a secure attachment with you, but insecure with others.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think you have an anxious attachment style with others, where like you don't really want to be close to other people.
I like to meet other people and know their story, but I don't want to be close like the first time we meet.
Yeah. Like he met a guy at work on an elevator, and within the first 60 seconds, he was telling him his sister was dying.
And that his nephew was a piece of shit because he wouldn't go see his mom.
Yeah, like that's the type of stuff.
We was riding from the 1st floor to the 4th floor. And it was like, that's why I don't like talking to people. That's why I don't like small talk. That's why I don't want to be trapped in a box with nobody and they be like, hey, how you doing? It's like,
not that good.
Yeah, not too good, man. I'm having a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully y'all use that to y'all advantage. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. But the link will be up. Read about it, talk about it, attachment styles. Anything else you want to say about that?
No, I think that's a great tool to use. Sharing some of y'all getting some therapy for free that we pay for.
Just a little bit of education, that's all. I mean, we always come and give y'all the funny and give y'all, but we want to, some education too. We're on a healing train, people. So we want to share some insight. It's choo-choo.
Oh.
Not toot-toot. I told you that.
When you on the train, you say toot-toot.
Would y'all tell her that that's like the second sound you learn as a kid? Trains go choo-choo, not toot-toot. Choo-choo. What's your beef? Again, I'm going to keep going with this because it's my city and it's Philly again. And my beef is a 14-year-old was waiting on the bus. And I don't know what he did. I heard he was taunting on social media, but he was chased down by grown people, grown men, and shot at 36 times and shot 18 times, a 14-year-old. So I don't know what a 14-year-old can do that grown people come and kill you and shoot you 18 times. This was 3:30 in the afternoon on 100 block of Wyoming Avenue in Feltonville. This kid was in the 9th grade. He went to Edison High School. And we are now at 510 murders in Philadelphia. And that's my beef for the day, is what could a 14-year-old kid have done to be shot 18 times waiting on a bus? Initially, just my thoughts was, what would make somebody that angry at a 14-year-old? So I start thinking deep about it. Like, did he touch somebody's, kid or something? Like, what the hell would somebody be after a 14-year-old like that? And just, the story just says he was taunting on social media.
It's one of them things where I agree. We don't need to shut up about it, but it's tiring because I don't know what the solution is, and not that it's my responsibility to
talk
find a
about
solution.
It. That's the solution.
I don't even know if that's going to change anything, to be honest. But I mean, it's one of those things where you don't shut up about it because that ain't going to fix it. But then you talk about it, and it makes you think about just the trauma and sadness. And you talk about bandwidth. my bandwidth has been exhausted with violence and murders and killing, to the point where it's like, this can't be life. Like, what the hell? When I heard of that story, now again, I said I don't watch TV that often. I watch very little TV. I'm not gonna say that often. I watch TV every day, but on social media, I don't follow any of those pages that show these. I see stories when he sends them to me, if Toya sends them to me. I don't look at those pages, because that it's like, you are what you eat, and not eat just in terms of food, what you ingest, period. And once you start looking at stuff so much, it stays in your brain and it plays over and over. So I don't look at it on social media. But this stuff
bothers me in a sense where it's our city, it's where we come from. It's a 14-year-old, and in my older age, that shit tugs on my heartstrings. And because of the shit I've done when I was a kid. So, like, why not talk about it?
No, I'm not saying not talk about it. I'm just saying I don't know what this, like, talking about it or not talking about it.
Do you think it's hurting me? Because, like, this stuff bothers me. So when you say you are what you eat, I understand that wholeheartedly, and I do agree with that. But do you think, like, that's affecting me?
I do. I think anybody.
So awareness, you think awareness affects people?
Not. You have to take it in doses. Like, okay, maybe pick a day that you'll look, catch up on the murders and stuff. Not every day looking at all, because then it's like, okay, this is daily. You're being ingested with this.
But I don't look every day. But I understand what you're saying.
Maybe catch up on Sunday. It ain't going to change nothing if you missed it.
But it happens every day, and it's like, if we're talking about something, I don't want it to be old. I want it to be like,
catch up on Tuesdays. I'm just saying whatever it is, whatever. For me, I cannot look at that stuff every day. But with this story, I was saying, we watch TV. We've been stuck on blacklist. So when I say I watch very little TV, like, literally probably watch TV for like 2 hours and fall asleep. But that's usually it. But the news, we don't really watch the news. But I happened to catch it the day that this happened. And when I heard the story, 14-year-old shot at the bus stop on his way home from school 18 times. I'm like half asleep with one eye open, because this is the 10 o'clock news. I ain't seen the 11 o'clock news in years. I had to go to my phone, to the 6ABC app, because I'm like, did I just hear that right? And to read the story, for me, it hurts. It's heartbreaking. My mind starts to think how afraid he must have been. Mm-hmm. His 14-year-old body. I have a 17-year-old. We have a 17-year-old, 18-year-old, 20-something-year-old nephew. Then we have nieces. My niece, 13. So I'm of course comparing, like, thinking about his age as it relates to them. It hurts. I can't. It makes me so super sad, because I start thinking about, oh my God, his parents. And again, just him by himself. The fear that must have been inside of his body. Like, you waiting. I don't care what happened. That's probably the last thing you think is going to happen. 18 times, this baby. Mm-hmm. He's a baby.
He's in 9th grade. Goes to Edison High School.
That broke my heart.
And I don't know his name, or I would say his name, but 9th grade, Edison High School. And I didn't even think about that, but because I was just thinking about what could he have done to make grown people come at you. So that's what made my brain think, okay, what are the things that you could do to make somebody that mad? But you're right. He's 14 years old. He's a fucking child. Like, he's scared to death.
I didn't even think about what he did. I didn't even know it was grown people. I just thought, oh my God, can you imagine how scared he was?
For somebody, for him to be 14, I mean, it was grown people. Like, 18, they 17, they older. Like, they grown people. And shot him 18 times and shot 36 shots at a kid.
Hearing it, feeling it, his body being hit. That's all.
Throughout his body. Yeah, 18 times throughout his body. That's, like I said, when I did the show last week by myself, and I talked about the pregnant girl that was shot, Philly is crazy. Last night, my man Danny, across the street from his house at Walmart, dude got shot coming out of Walmart, and the lady just got robbed at his car. So I mean, that's another thing. It's the season. It's crazy out there. All y'all out there shopping, coming back to the car with bags. Single women out there going shopping by yourself. Dudes going shopping by yourself. Like, it's crazy right now. It's people waiting in cars to see who coming back to the car with bags, who got what, who they think got money. It's couples getting robbed in restaurants eating dinner. Like, it's the season, and it's this year in particular because everybody, quote unquote, fucked up and desperate, and it's like, it's bad out there. It's just bad out there. So that's my beef.
Yeah.
Oh, and just to add on, 2019, 119 juveniles were shot in Philadelphia. 13 died. In 2020, 197 juveniles were shot and 26 died. And this year, 198 have been shot and 33 have died.
So let's just say this: from 2019 to 2020, that was 100% increase. You said from 13 to 26.
Mm-hmm.
That was 100% increase in the number that has been shot
of kids under 18 that have died. And this year alone, we had 198 and 33 have died. We still got 20 something more days, 28, 29 more days, or whatever.
Yeah. Sad. Prayers to that boy's family. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just crazy. 3 grams.
I don't get no beef today.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. We sorry, people. What's your beef? Co-hostess with the mostest.
You know, a couple.
Get at them. Tell the people your beef. Give them some energy.
A couple weeks ago, we had talked about, I had talked about how I don't like that black women are always stereotyped as being angry, aggressive.
I remember
mean.
you was getting at me about that because I was saying that's how some of them are.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about when I did my beef, and I talked about how we're labeled as, oh, she's so, she's a tiger and all this kind of stuff, But one of the things that I have a beef with is black women. Like you always say, to a lot of stereotypes hold truth to it. Why must we feel that we have to be aggressive so often to give weight to that stereotype? Why don't we know how to be in positions of leadership, to be in positions of power, to just be peers and to hold our own, to do our jobs, to hold our position, to make our points without being a bitch? Why don't we know how to be assertive without being aggressive?
Mm-hmm.
Why do we not know how to get our point across without feeling like we have to belittle or demean others, or try to belittle or demean others, or to...
Not all, but some.
Yeah, of course not all. I'm not that type of leader at all, and I do my job extremely well, and I can hold my own at the table with anybody. It's just such a sad sight to see when it's us. Like, we have the opportunity to have a seat at so many tables, but too often when we sit at that table, we feel like we gotta snap. And the sad part about it is we be snapping our neck at each other. Like, it's sad, and we need to check ourselves and figure out a way to do our jobs just as effectively, if not better, just as efficiently, if not better, without being a bitch about it.
This is what I was trying to say when we had the conversation, and maybe I worded it wrong, and I was not trying to down black women, but I was saying because of how we grew up and how we were taught in our culture, you have to be aggressive to get what you want. Single black women, period. So when you take that to the corporate world, you have to look inside yourself and say, okay, do I have the tool? I know how to get what I want, but it's in an aggressive way. And when that comes across in the corporate world, it's like, oh shit, she's difficult.
But see, I don't think you have to be aggressive.
No, you don't.
You have to be assertive.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
You don't have to be, but that aggressive that tactic that you learn your whole life, your whole culture of being aggressive to get what you need because you're a black woman or you're a single black mom, then when you get in a corporate setting, yeah, you know how to go get what you want, but aggressively. You have to tune that in to be like, okay, I got to be assertive, not necessarily rah, 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 the tiger that I had to be growing up.
Right.
Is what
I
I'm
got
saying.
you. I got you.
Does that make sense?
It does. It makes sense.
That's all you got on your beef?
That was all I got on my beef. That was all.
3 grams. 1, 2, 3. This is another school shooting. Oxford High School. Are you with us here?
I am. I'm with you, babe.
You sure?
I'm positive.
What?
I was.
Oh, okay. Another school shooting. Oxford High School, Michigan. 4 dead, 6 injured. Yeah. It's a 15-year-old kid, sophomore. His name is Ethan Crumbly, spelt like your maiden name. Charged with first-degree murder and terrorism, 7 assaults, intent to murder, 12 counts of possessing a firearm, and his daddy bought the guns 4 days before the shit happened.
So that was going to be my question to you, because I did read that his dad had bought the guns. You think, and I'm just asking because if so, that's sad. You think the daddy bought the guns for that reason?
No, I don't think his dad. I would like to think his dad didn't buy guns for him to shoot up the school. But the kid did post on Instagram that he is now, I become deaf, destroyer of the world. You see tomorrow, Oxford. And he pled guilty and held no bond. And also there was a video where he, the kids in the classroom barricaded the door with desks and chairs. So it was about 15 kids in there on their phones, and they had the window open. So you hear, it's the sheriff. And they're like, and he said, okay. And the sheriff says, it's all safe, you can come out. And the kids go, who's that? And they're like, he said it's a sheriff. And he goes, it's all safe, you can come out. And the kids go, we're not going to take that chance right now. And the kid says, come on, just come to the door, bro. And the kids go, he said, bro, red flag, red flag. And they all jumped the fuck out the window and got out, all 15 of them.
That was smart.
But just like that, they was like, he said, bro, cops don't say bro.
The sad part is, like, he got that from a movie or something.
Yeah, and it was like he pretended to be a sheriff to try to get kids to come to the door so he can shoot them. But his verbiage, ding, 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 kids was like, cops don't say bro.
Right?
He was like, nah, red flag, let's get out.
Yeah, that's scary that he got that from a movie. But it goes to show, as sad as this is, it's not a moment to be proud of your kid. But I would be proud of my kid if they were a part of that. Like, y'all were paying attention. You didn't just, you weren't naive and fell victim to that.
Right. But, yeah, he killed 4 people. Condolences to them families. It's fucked up. Another school shooting. 2nd gram. This was funny. We don't gotta talk about this long. When Chris Cuomo accused of using social media sources to gain information to help his brother with the victims that's accusing him.
Okay, so
that's like, you'll help your brother, right?
Exactly. And not only that, and I don't know if this is one of your grams, so if I'm jumping the gun, then I apologize in advance because I don't know. But I saw something, so I'm sneaking in a gram, where creditors will, so people that you owe, collection agencies, will be able to use like social media and stuff like that to find people and communicate with them. So how they can use that social media, the FBI use social media. Why would I not be able to use social media in it's not in my defense, but in my brother's defense? Why?
Because you're looking up his accusers and giving him information in his defense. I think that's
but if I was the
illegal it's illegal, but not morally. Not at. I mean,
It's unethical, but not illegal.
Yeah.
But if
No, I
I
think
was
it
the
is
criminal, the cops or attorneys or FBI, whoever, they would look up my social media stuff to find out information on me or to see what type of stuff I'm into.
I would think his lawyer would have to be doing the looking up on social media to find out this stuff, and I think that's legal. They can use it because they post.
So
it
it's
to the
illegal
public.
because it's his brother.
Yeah, and your brother works for CNN, so
I
he's like
Chris Cuomo.
I mean, I think I would do it. I mean, what the fuck? It's your
I
brother.
like Chris Cuomo.
Yeah,
and to me, I could be 1,000% wrong. I don't know him personally. Chris Cuomo to me seems like a person who, if he's doing that, that tells me he believes in his brother's innocence.
Mm-hmm.
Because he gives me the impression that if he thought his brother was guilty, he would let him know.
Yeah,
right. He may not let us know, but he would let his brother know. Or if he knew like his brother was into some funky stuff, he wouldn't want no parts in that. So to me, that gives me the impression that he just seems like an all-around good guy.
But do you think he's like really innocent, or you think that's just some brother shit?
Yeah, I don't have an opinion about it. I think it's some brother stuff. I didn't really look too detailed. Just trying to think of a way to say this. While the Me Too movement is extremely important because it did allow an opportunity.
I mean, it's still going on, but it's like over.
Well, when it happened, it did provide a platform for many people who were wronged in horrible ways, who for whatever reason, no fault of their own, were scared to speak out. It gave them that strength, that bravery to do so, to get their victimizers out of here, jail, fired, whatever happened to them. Like there were women being raped in jobs, which I'm not blaming any victims at all. There's no job that you can tell me I gotta let you rape me in order for me to keep this job. It ain't no paycheck.
It's one job that is an actress.
No, I'm saying me.
Oh, I understand what you're saying, but there's one job out there that warrants that, and it's an actress, and it's a shame, but that's the one job where they get away with that.
Well,
shit.
That's what I'm saying. For me, there's no job, and I'm not blaming the victims, but men who were doing that to women, regardless of people say, how could you let them or what? No, the men, they deserve what they got. So I say all that to say, I think some aspects of the Me Too movement were blown to proportions that I don't really know if they fit that same category as a man raping a woman to keep her job to a man telling you, damn, that skirt fits you nice. It may be inappropriate. I'm coming home to tell my husband, but that's like male female flirting. Like I don't think a man's livelihood should be canceled for that, because while men and women may flirt differently, that's like if I said, wow, that's a nice tie you have on. As a woman, I'm looking at that man like, damn, he look good. I may not say that to him, but me complimenting your tie is using my feminine wiles to come, or wow, your haircut looks nice, or oh, your cologne smells really good. But let a man say, that perfume smells amazing. No, woman's like, oh my goodness, he sniffed my neck. And again, I'm not in any way minimizing any of the horrible things that happen to women. I don't think somebody telling you that dress fits you nice, your legs look nice in those heels, your perfume smells amazing. I don't think it fits into the same category, but there are men who face severe consequences because it was like, oh, he's been taunting me for years, or every time I wear a dress, or he tells me, wow, the gym is doing your body good. That's probably inappropriate to say in a work setting, but he may honestly just be telling you like, damn, you working out, you look good, sis. But as a woman, it's like, I feel, like he
Me too.
Yeah. So that's all I got to say about that. Y'all don't cancel me.
Hey, she gave her opinion. That's what we're here for. One person in California coming back from South America got the Omarion.
Why would you call it that?
I'm a Crombie.
Black people will give a nickname to anything. thing.
Just
Why
saying.
are we like
They
that?
got that Omicron beat.
But coming back from South America though?
Mhm.
Wow. What part of
They contained, I don't know what part of South America. They just said South America.
No, the only reason why I asked because I know before they were talking about it being in South Africa. So now they saying South America. That's scary.
But this person is in California. So you know what that does to California and LA and all that shit. Like everywhere is vaccine and booster and mask.
Yeah.
Everywhere. But you think the Omarion gonna come over here?
Yeah.
It's gonna be like it was a year
But
ago.
but it just, I told you this, and I'm not saying that the Omarion is not real. I'm not disputing it at all. But one thing I did read is that in order to determine a different variant of the COVID vaccine, the COVID virus, is they need to test your blood. So when they start talking about these numbers of people that have it, I know we've had several COVID tests. And maybe, like you mentioned when we talked about this, maybe they only test your blood if you test positive. So that makes sense. But I don't know anybody who has had COVID who also got a blood test. If you have tested positive for COVID.
I think when you test positive for COVID and you're hospitalized, they take blood and test it.
So only when you're hospitalized. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, how else would they get it because if you test positive and on a test, they call you and they do contact tracing, they tell you got to go to the hospital.
But not everybody has gone to the hospital.
Not everybody goes, but I'm sure you're told you should go to the hospital.
Well, no, some people, they just tell you to quarantine. But so when you say hospital, like if you are hospitalized,
yes,
like you have to be hospitalized.
They pull blood from you,
Yeah, because I know some people that have tested like recently, and it's like, okay, you tested positive, quarantine if you feel any symptoms, because that was part of the problem with the ERs. They were telling people don't go to the hospital unless you had severe symptoms where you had
that's what
to.
I mean. If you
so if you had to, okay, that makes sense because you would be hospitalized, so they would test it. So okay, I mean,
first thing they're gonna do is jab an IV in your arm.
Yeah, get some blood out. Yeah,
and see what the fuck do you got the what do you call that stuff?
Antibodies.
Antibodies.
Do you think COVID
tests
will ever be going?
No, it's gonna be I don't know where the flu went, but I think that's gonna be the new cold. That's the new cold COVID. Because if you sick, I don't know any. I haven't been sick in a few years, which I'm thankful for. But I don't know anybody that has gotten like a regular cold. And a lot of people test positive at my job, but they're not. There's nobody like with regular colds. People got
like
COVID
the
or
sniffles,
no.
Yeah. Or if you see somebody with the sniffles, I think you just automatically assume.
It's either COVID or not. So I don't think it'll ever go away. No, I think it'll be here for the duration.
Do you think it's all a farce? Not COVID. No. Let me finish. Not COVID, but do you think that they're just automatically assuming people have COVID when they get sick? Or do you think that the actual virus that caused the common cold has mutated now, where COVID like Pac-Man'd it, and now it really is only COVID?
It's probably the Omarion.
Okay.
You put up some questions. What you got?
Yeah, so we put up some questions and we like the interaction. We wanted to give you guys a chance to let us know what's your beef, what's your wows and woes, and if you had any questions for us, let us know. We did promise anonymity, so we won't read your names, but we appreciate your participation. So first, what's your beef? You read it.
The continuous injustices of Black people. Will it always be this way? Yeah, it's sad to say that. Yeah, because that's America. My opinion, that's America. It's what this country is built and set up on, and it's a system that we can thrive in through hard work and dedication and perseverance, but it ain't set up for us to win. And as long as that system is in place, whether it be law enforcement, whether it be the judicial system, whether it be education, it's all not set up for us to win. So although we do peak in it because we work harder, strive harder, we overcome shit, persevere and all that, that's where we win at. But we always got to do a little bit extra than the other person. So it's set up, and this is where we live. So yeah, it's going to continue to happen. At what magnitude and what degree, I don't know. But it'll always be here.
Can I tell you something? Even though this might not, like, it's definitely not something that's on my mind every day. I'm not always thinking about it, but if I take a moment to think about it, it hurts my feelings, like the way that they treat us as Black people.
Yeah.
And it may not be direct, where people are being like haven't had a Karen moment. I don't want one, but it's like
January 6th was the epitome of them, like the Black vote working in places where the Black vote was supposed to be and pissing them off and them going to do some shit like that.
Yeah.
And knowing that if we ever did something like that, there would be dead bodies all over the lawn.
Yeah, I think it really hurts my feelings when you think about the inequities in this world, and it's one of those things that's crazy to me and baffles my mind, because we talk about this not just in black and white, just from state to state. Like, why, when you think about the comparison, and you talked about this, like a young Black man who did blah 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 blah, I don't remember the charges, and he got 55 years, and a white boy that did blah 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 blah, and he got like house arrest and probation or something. And you think to yourself how blatant the disparity is in the justice system, that it just shouldn't be a thing.
But you also, again, a jewel, because information is key, because now that you see that the disparity, the lopsided scale, now you know that it's not there for you to win. It's fixed for them to win. So,
but it's just so blatant. It's like when Sister Kamala made the View give them people a fake COVID result to get them off the stage. Like, just the blatant disrespect to us. It hurts my feelings. I just have to say it hurts my feelings.
It hurts mine too, but not in the sense where I'm gonna give them.
Yeah, I ain't walking around sad. I'm gonna still be the best me.
Because I'm the best me, or I like who I am and I'm the best version of myself. It does. When somebody is afraid of me or think I'm gonna hurt them, it's like, bitch, that's the last fucking thing I'm thinking about. It's taken from you. Like, I got everything I need and all the money I need to buy whatever I want. Like, leave me the fuck alone. Stop thinking about me like that.
All right, we got another beef.
Liars and poor communication.
Poor communicators.
Poor communicators. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like either of those. Well, I will say this. Liars, absolutely no. Poor communicators.
My Nana used to say, and this was dramatic, but I believe it. But she used to say, if you lie, you steal. And if you steal, you kill. So...
I do believe if you lie, you steal. I don't think every thief is a murderer.
That's what we used to say. Nana, damn, if you steal a pack of gum, you a murderer?
I do believe if you will lie, you will steal, because it's like taking something and like, if you have to be prepared to lie about it. If you get caught, you're not gonna be like, all right,
and you gotta be prepared to kill them if they go tell somebody.
I don't think people will take it that far. I don't think everybody who will lie is prepared to kill.
If you lie, you steal. If you steal, you kill.
But poor communicators, communicating is a life skill that is a necessity to learn.
Yeah, because I can't be your friend if you communicate poor. I just can't.
Or if you're not willing to improve.
Yeah, I'm confrontational, and if something's wrong, I need you to say something's wrong, or just don't treat me any type of way. Like, if we friends, if we love each other, if we got any type of relationship, say what's wrong, because I'm gonna say what's wrong. So if we're that tight and we're that close, then say what's on your mind, because I'm gonna say what's on my mind, and we gonna still love each other. But poor communicators, I don't have time for that.
All right, one more beef.
Why are you hiding the names? I'm not gonna say nothing.
I just didn't want you to slip.
Oh, people not knowing the shit. People not owning the shit they do and constantly playing the victim.
Whew.
I'm big on that too, because I don't like playing. I don't like victims. Like, people. I'm sorry. If you're a victim, you're a victim. I don't like people playing the victim.
Right? Accountability is key.
Yeah.
I read something that said a part of the healing journey is accepting the part that you played in the hurt, or accepting the part that you played in a situation. Mm-hmm. Being accountable. Like, not everything is, oh, woe is me. Like, what some parts might not be your fault, but bridging the gap with good communication and owning your part to help come to a resolution.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't do that, it just negate. When you want to play the victim, it negates your whole story, because no matter what other
Put
part
you in a
people
box.
play, yeah.
Yeah, put you in the box, make people not take you seriously because you're just always the victim.
Yeah. All right, a couple people gave us your wiles and woes too. We're happy for you. We want to be your venting board, so feel free to let it all out on us. All right, so we had a wow.
Wow was we're empty nesters after raising 3 kids. Hubby and I finally have the house to ourselves.
Woo, ooh,
That's
y'all
cool.
probably got some
Yeah.
swinging from
And
the
I'm just gonna say, I see this
chandeliers.
person on social media, and they be having wine dates and like random like in the living room dates and
I
stuff.
love
And that's
love.
cool shit. Yeah, that's cool shit. I like to see that.
Yeah, I
That's
love
cool.
love.
So
Yeah.
shout out to y'all.
And the same person gave a whoa.
Whoa, it's winter.
Seasonal depression.
Seasonal depression. I'm ready to say, damn, that looked like a big word.
Yeah, seasonal depression. Sad is a real thing.
It took me probably like 36, 37 years old to realize that change does affect people. The sun going down, waking up dark. Some people come home, it's dark. They've been at work in a building all day, ain't seen no light. You know, hopefully you can come out for lunch or something, or just look out a window. But yeah, it affects people when you don't see the sun like you're supposed to, or like you want to.
Years ago, when I first started working in the insurance industry, people would call to find out if we covered this lamp that their doctors will write a prescription for. The diagnosis was seasonal affective disorder. And I don't know what the lamp looks like, but supposedly it's a thing. Like the doctors will write, it's not like a regular lamp, but the doctors will write people a prescription for this lamp that's supposed to give them some type of something because they really were impacted by the season. Vitamin D, we know, is extremely important. And like you said, if you're a person that gets up in the morning, you go to work, let's say you got to be to work by 8 o'clock. You working until 4. You leave, the sun goes down at 4:30. So you're leaving when it's dark, you get home when it's dark, you might have a chance to get outside, but once it's really cold outside, are you going outside? It ain't my favorite time of the year at all. At all. But thank God that we're living to see another day. So I try to look on the bright side. But
I like the weather, but I don't like the time change. I think it should stay daylight savings time.
Yeah.
The way it was. I think it should stay the way it was, not like this. So what was that? Lose an hour?
Yeah, who we saving the light for?
Yeah, I think we should keep it like that all year round, and then we be good.
So this is another whoa, and I feel this is a very personal moment, so we're going to get this off our chest for you, because I understand in a professional environment, you can't always say what you want to say, because you never know who may follow you, so we're going to be your venting board.
Fellow nurses that don't use the critical thinking skills, especially when it's laid out. That's simple, because if you're taught that, and you should be as a nurse, that's just not following directions.
Yeah, but
that's not following simple instructions. If it's laid out, especially if it's laid out, then yeah, you're just not following the rules. Then you should be chastised.
Well, it says critical thinking skills, which means it's probably not laid out in the sense of instructions, but you got to use your brain to figure out.
I would think that's taught for nurses, though.
But I mean, it's something that is not like step 1, step 2, step 3. It's using the skills that you have.
This is what happened when you're in this emergency situation. This is what you do in this emergency situation.
And I can imagine that being frustrating, especially if you're really good at your job. I know you. We've been friends since 4th grade. You've been a nurse for a really long time, so I can imagine being really good at your job and having people that suck at it. It's frustrating.
And when you talk about lives, like you talk
nursing,
about people who taking care of people, yeah, that's fucked up. If you're not following the rules, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do,
yeah, that sucks. I hope it gets better for you.
They should be out.
Wow.
My progress in my emotional healing journey.
Woo woo.
That's cool.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah, everybody at a certain age should get on a healing.
Hop on the train.
A journey. Look inside yourself. Get yourself some help. Talk to somebody if you got the resources to. But yeah, we ain't getting no younger. And the shit that we carry from the childhood age, the prepubescent, the adolescent ages, like that's That's why we fucked up now.
And even though it's a while, we talked about this before. Healing does not always feel good.
No, it hurts.
But it feels good once you get past the hurt, when you realize, oh, that hurt, but I'm getting better. It hurts so good. Like, that's like
when you're not healed, you don't know why.
Yeah.
And when you get a few tools in your box and help and some resources, now you know why. So you got information. Information is key. When you got information about yourself, about your family, your history, why you do things, life is a lot easier.
All right, here's the same person. A whoa.
The constant sadness regarding the violence in Philly. I can't wait to move.
See, it's impacting everybody.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You gotta speak about it. It's our city, and it's not like, we run around and we rep Philly on our forehead, but we was born and raised there.
We should plan a stop the violence.
We was born and raised there. I would go to something like that. But yeah, that's it's crazy.
It is.
It's crazy. I got a guy at work that's saying the same thing. Like, I gotta move. And he just bought a house in Philly 18 months ago, 2 years ago. And he like, I gotta move. Like, it's just, I can't wake up in the morning hearing gunshots.
Yeah. All right. We also gave an opportunity for y'all to ask us anything. So.
No question. Just love the vibes of the host and co-host. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
We do got good vibes. Like, this is what we should do for our vibes, right? Like when you look at the emoji and it, like when you put in vibes, like it's like this. You gotta catch it. You gotta catch it.
No.
You're not gonna catch the vibe. You pass it along, like.
Nope. I don't even like the nope.
All right, let's see. Another question.
If you could eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? Ooh, shit. I'd be loaded with steak.
That's not a meal, though. What else?
Oh, I'd eat steak, corn, baked potato.
Loose corn or corn on the cob?
Loose corn.
With a spoon?
Actually, cream corn.
What'd you want in your baked potato?
Salt, pepper, and chives. Butter.
What cut of steak you want? Ribeye.
Ribeye.
Medium.
Yep. And I want that Wagyu.
If I could, you know what my meal would
Pizza?
be? I do love a pizza.
Fucking Chico sticks?
No, I do love it. I ain't had a Chico stick in forever. I was addicted to Chico sticks. But no, I think my meal would be like and I don't eat this often because
Chilean sea bass?
No, it would be like a salmon Alfredo.
Oh no, white sauce? Fuck out of here. Eat that every day for the rest of your life?
You only had one meal. You would eat steak every day and corn?
And a baked potato. Yep.
I think either salmon Alfredo or lasagna. Probably because I don't get to eat.
You know how blocked up you would be eating cheese every day? You would be pooping like once a week.
Yeah. Well, that was the questions. Thank y'all for your participation.
We appreciate it. Yes, we do. We appreciate it. Keep it going. We're going to put more questions up. We want more engagement, and we deeply appreciate it.
And we'll give y'all a chance to give us y'all beefs and wows and woes, too. Yeah. Get it off your chest. Let us be your vibe.
And when you say your beef, say it with your chest. Say it with some force, even in the writing. Like, text capitals if it's your beef.
Come on, babe. Let us be your vibe.
No vibe.
No. Okay.
Act 2 the podcast, episode 47. We appreciate y'all watching. We appreciate y'all listening.
And I'm back.
Yep, she's back. Again, you could catch us on act2thepodcast.com. You can go there. You can get merch. You can go there. You can see YouTube clips. You can go there. You can see Instagram clips. You can go there for everything. But we also on YouTube. We also on Spotify. We also on Breaker. We also on Google Podcasts. We also on Anchor. So get up on your views. Get up on the, checking out the content. We dope content. Act 2 the podcast.
Can I give y'all one challenge? I want each of you to tell a friend about us this week. Just one friend. Each of you tell one friend about us this week. Sounds good?
Yeah.
I think that's doable. I think that's doable. That's a realistic expectation. You know, I don't like depending on people to do stuff, but I think that's a realistic expectation. So I'm killing on y'all.
No, it's been fun. We love it. We love y'all. Appreciate the engagement. Appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate y'all listening. A2TP podcast, episode 47. If you fuck with us, you fuck with us. If you don't, you should. Peace.